Just check. Good evening, everybody. I'm just checking everything's gone live there, and just want to let everybody know. Yes, we'll see you in a bit. Yes, everybody, and welcome to High on Homegrown, the cannabis podcast from PercysGrowRoom.com. I am Mackie from the UK, and joining us this week, we have Marge.
Hello, everyone. This is Marge from Central Ontario, where it's been very rainy, and also host of Bite Me the Show about edibles.
We also have Monkey Doo.
Hey guys, Monkey down here in the Southeast US, enjoying a warm Sunday afternoon. Hope everyone's got something nice to smoke on today. We got a good show for you.
We also have Billy Bonds.
Hi from Cornwall. It's quite nice here at the moment. It's not too bad, so I hope you enjoy.
And of course, we have you, that person who has hit that like button and has hit that subscribe button and has also lit their cannabis cigarettes or bongs or consumed their cannabis in some way. That's right. So we're all here. We're ready to get high and talk about some news and stuff, I assume.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some whiskey here, everybody. Sipping on some whiskey. We'll crack out the whiskey for the show today, I think. We haven't done that for a while. Because we're going to have the week off next week, everybody. There will be no show on Sunday, okay? Because we got some other things going on that need to be covered. But then we'll tell you about it at the end of the show when we cover up the forum news and stuff. But we have something to tell you. And why we're taking the week off. You'll see when we get to the end of the show. But of course, we have lots of cool news stories to cover. We got some weed to smoke. Yeah, and all that kind of shit. You know, it's Sunday. This is what we do. We've been doing it for many years. You know what I'm saying, Monkey? It's like...
Yeah, man.
We just
I don't
repeat
have any
ourselves
weed.
now.
I don't have any weed to smoke this week though. I got hash. Will that count?
Oh, we let you
I
off.
think that
We
counts.
let you
Yeah.
off.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I think that definitely
Yeah.
counts.
Just want to
But
make
also,
sure that I'm accepted.
You can't say you have no weed to smoke when you've got so much weed. You mean the weed is over there and you don't want to go get it? Yeah.
The weed's not directly on my table. I might have to reach a few feet to grab some if I wanted it. Yeah.
Right.
That's pretty much like almost every home grower I know. It's always
Yeah.
within reach.
You just got to reach a little bit further.
Exactly. But I want
Yes.
to reach for this beautiful scissor hash that I have right here. So yeah, that's what we're going for today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what we do, let's take a quick look at some of the news stories that we're covering today, because of course we do have some fuckery that we do like to cover here. The first one, and it's a big one, and I'm sure many of you would have heard about this news already, but we're going to cover it in a little bit more detail and discuss it to see what the fuck was going on, because this is an important one. Seedsman Seed had a data breach recently. Some hackers got into their site, took a database full of information and of customer information as well, so it's got lots of people concerned. So we're gonna go into detail with some of that and explain some things to you, and hopefully it will put some minds at ease. But that we'll go into more detail with that in a little bit. We also covered last week how there's legal cannabis that is covered in pesticides and not really good to smoke and shit. But we also have this problem with rolling papers that may contain contaminants as well, which has been looked into, and this is covered by Leafie. We'll cover that when we get to that story in a little bit as well. But is it even safe to smoke it in papers anymore? Just hit the pipe or something, I don't know, just set it on fire in the air, breathe in the smoke. Fucking hell.
Edibles.
Yeah, edibles is good, but sometimes you want that
course.
smoke hit. You know what I mean? You want to smoke it, man. So I don't know. What can you
knives.
even do anymore?
Go old
Hot
school.
knives sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? Yeah.
Just don't burn your lips.
And we got some bullshit as well from Louisiana governor vetoes bill that would have let him pardon past cannabis convictions. What an arsehole. But this guy is legit an arsehole. I've seen videos of this guy and he's a fucking absolute nutcase. Yeah, we'll go into that in a little bit. We have Canada wants to become the cannabis tourism capital of the world. We're going to discuss how they are going to do that. That's very interesting. We have some guy in the UK, because we always have to bring a piece of fuckery news from the UK. This guy, he was working abroad, rented out his house, and guess what happened? Cannabis crooks dumped 10 tons of soil in my bedroom, says the man. All right, yeah, so that's going to be an interesting one. We'll get to that in a little bit. California State Fair, which is a huge fair that goes on in California, if you didn't know, every year. And they're going to allow cannabis sales and consumption on the site for the first time. So we'll be covering that one too. And one last piece of news at the end there. We're going to, from the UK again. It's like, you couldn't make this shit up. It's satirical. I swear, it's satirical at this point. 2 men given suspended prison sentences, which means if they break the law again, they're going to prison. Guess what for? swapping small amounts of prescribed cannabis. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You heard it. You heard it.
Legally purchased cannabis, and they both have medical cards. Are you kidding me? No.
Yeah.
So that's the last one we're going to be covering. That's the last article because we're going to be a little bit high and tipsy by then, so we won't be freaking out so much. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, there's news articles covering up. Of course, as well, we have some forum news and podcast news that we'll be getting to that you have to listen to as well because we've got some stuff to explain. So stay tuned for that. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and yeah, smoke, man, smoke or consume your edibles if you haven't done that yet. But yes, what you got today, Marge? Do you have something nice?
Yeah, I have some edibles actually. I've been eating some gummies and I've got some cannabis called Dirty Taxi, and it's pretty skunky. I like it.
Okay, yeah, I like that
Yeah.
name. That's a cool name. I like
Yeah.
that. What you got, Monkey? What you have your hash? What hash is it? Homemade hash, I assume.
No, this is actually finger hash. I've been trimming all day today, trying to
Oh.
get some stuff out of the drying tent. So this is just finger hash, and we'll be sliding that up into Dr. Dabra's switch to get, we'll vape this hash, make it nice.
Just had my dog sneak in there. Excuse me.
Uh-oh,
We spoke about this
again?
before the show. I'm telling you, it's the kebab. She's like, are you sure there's not just a little bit left for me? Better be
Nothing
quiet
like
over
the
there.
spoiled animal there in your house, you know?
Yeah. So if you hear squeaking in a bit because she's falling asleep behind me, don't worry, everybody. She's just sleeping. But yeah, what you got, Billy? You got something nice?
Some Blue Dream.
Oh, have
Blue
you
Dream
spilled
fast
hash
from Addy
accidentally
Bongos.
into that?
Yes, I have accidentally spilled some
You,
hash.
you are
into
so
some of them.
clumsy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Terrible,
You're gonna have to
Billy.
get some better hash
Yeah.
containers so he doesn't spill it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I think I do. It's not good. Also, today's professionalism is sponsored by the Hoctor Polish Company.
Yes, everybody.
Everybody.
Sponsored by
Yeah.
Huck Tour. Put a little spit on that thing. You know?
Yeah, they do French polishing, I heard, but you have to pay more than your $5.
You know, and it's funny because this meme's been going around the internet all week. If you haven't seen it, everybody, if you don't know what we're talking about, then I'm in the same position. I was in the same position as you. Like, why is everybody going Hoctor all over the internet? What is going on here? And it was a couple of days until I came across the meme that they were talking about over on Twitter. And now I understand what they mean. So go and do a little bit of investigation if you don't know what it is. It's fun. So, but yes. Thank you to our sponsors for this episode would not be possible if it wasn't for our Hoctor Polish sponsors. Thank you. Also brought to you by Manscaped. Yeah.
Always.
Yes, we covered what was smoking. We covered what news we're covering. Is there anything else to add here? Because we seem to have been remarkably efficient today.
That's because we're professional today, bro.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You know, we put our
Yeah.
professional hats on before we started this.
Yeah, it's just been a beautiful day in the UK as well. We've had loads of nice weather, and they're going crazy in the news. Heat wave coming to hit UK, deadly heat wave, and it's like 26 degrees C. Like,
Whoa.
how can that even be considered fucking heat wave? I don't know. It's hot for the UK, but in comparison of things.
I think
I mean-
we're approaching 40 C today, you know?
Yeah,
so,
you know what I
hey.
mean. You know what I mean.
No,
It's like,
that's
calm
hot.
down. Calm
Yeah.
down.
26 sounds quite delightful.
Yes, indeed, it is delightful, and I'm
Yeah.
enjoying it.
I'll take that. Send it my way, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, with a
Yeah.
nice coastal breeze, 26 is quite nice.
Yeah,
actually.
beautiful, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I love it. That's like my favorite. It's the same kind of conditions you want to keep a ganja plant, you know? At 26. Beautiful.
Go hang out in
Yeah,
your
it is.
garden.
That's
It's
right.
about ganja plants temperatures, which is perfect, isn't it?
I think so. But I like to sit in the tent and be nice and warm like that, you know? Spend some time with the plants. And, you know, I put my tent back up recently as well. And I've been watering plants again. And every time I put my tent down and get it back up, it's just I always forget just how much I actually enjoy just sitting with fucking plants for a bit. You know, it's such a crucial part of the day that when the tent isn't up, you don't realize it. But damn, when it's back up, you're like, damn, you know, I've missed this. But that's
What
it.
I like doing, because the way I perpetual grow, and I have like loads of different strains in my tent at a time, I sometimes just sit and look at the structures of the plants to see how similar or how different they are. And because sometimes you can see the lineage and how they're sharing stuff, like the white widows all seem to be, because I've got 3 different varieties of white widow in my tent at the minute, from including some of monkeys like crosses, and all quite similar in a way. And you can see the structures are quite the same in a way, but you can see the differences as well in like the buds and that. But you're like, oh, actually, that's you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially when how many I've grown so far. So I'm probably close to. Well, I've definitely done over 50 strains in over the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
So my
Damn,
strain list,
you know, and that's something I
already
think
quite high.
when we better move on to the news pretty soon because we're starting to run over now with chatting shit. But you know, if I would have kept track of every strain I'd grown and every plant I'd grown since the start of this, I mean, I've thought about it at the start, but it's like, what's the point, really? And if you ever get found with a list like that in Prohibition, you know, like, what's all these names? But I wish I did, man. I wish I did keep track.
Potential baby names, man. That's all.
You know, green crack pussy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Dog names, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dog names.
Cheetah piss. Exactly.
That's right. But with that, let's cover some of this important shit over on the news. Let's go. So the big one, the Seedsman breach, man, the security breach. This is somebody who posted on the forum. Can you remember, Monkey? Who put this up on the forum and let us know about it?
It was a brand new member that did it, and I really don't remember who it was.
Was it Damon? I think it might have been Damon was the guy's name.
Yeah, somebody basically came over and informed us first before we even knew about it.
Yeah, so then, and because it's such a big claim, I reached out to Tom at Seedsman because he's been on the show before. You know, everybody who's been a guest on the show has been on the interview, and he's a good guy. We all like Tom, and it must be shit for something like this to happen to his company. So just wanted to send our best. You know, told him it's got to be stressful. Well, just let us know if we can help in any way. And there's some links that have been put out there to explain what's going on, and this is what we're going to read now. This is what we're going to go through to reassure any of you guys who have any concerns. So, look, that's the show notes. Don't look at the show notes. Jesus. Jesus. Every time. Not every time, but at least 2/3 of the time.
Octeur.
Yeah. It was Daedalus on the forum. Thank you there, happy NPC. It was Daedalus who put the post up. But here we go. Let's have a look. We have... I've got to scroll to the right position here. I've got too many windows open. Right, and I want to be able to see the chat. Okay, let's have a look.
Yes, professional.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, professional. The whiskey is kicking in. I'm just going to have a sip of this Vimto. And just out there in the chat as well, do you all know what Vimto is? The guys in the UK know what Vimto is, but they don't have such luxuries in the USA.
No, but we have other things like that. But it's not that name.
Right.
Damn, Vimto is good. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Right, so Seedsman Data Breach is the title on this one. And we have what happened. Cyber criminals recently hacked into Seedsman's computer systems and stole some of our customers' personal data. We apologize for this and are working diligently to increase the security of our systems and protect our customers. When did the breach occur and when did Seedsman discover it? We believe the data breach occurred on or around the 3rd of April 2024. A handful of customers contacted us on May 31st. I'll read that again. A handful of customers contacted us on May 31st after they had been notified by their security software. We immediately limited access to all of our systems and began our investigation. What information was taken? An older customer database was accessed and stolen. The database contained user account details from May 18th, 2018. It wasn't May 18th, just May 2018 to December 2022. So that's a long time as well. It's like 4.5 years or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the data included their name, email address, phone number, and date of birth as well. Some customers had not provided all of this data, so the thieves did not have complete data for all records. So, you know, if you filled in your account fully and gave all this information, it was taken. You know, if you were part of Seedsman's website in between this time, they would have had this information here. The following was not taken and remains securely stored: payment records, order records, financial records. We have notified by email all customers who were affected and have not received an email. If you have not received an email, please check your spam. if you have concerns, please feel free to get in touch. So yeah, he also did say that if you want to reach out to Tom, if you do have any concerns, then you can reach out to Tom and speak to him personally, and he'll be able to put your mind at ease as well. But initially, I mean, this isn't all of it. We'll go back to it in a second. But initially, you know, it's concerning because you never want your information getting leaked by any company. But never mind a company where you are potentially doing something illegal, you know?
Well, the one thing that I'm getting out of this is okay, that basically what they stole was your name, email, address, phone number, date of birth, but they have no proof that you've ever bought anything from Seedsman, because there's no order records, no payment records, no financial records. So it just basically means that your name was on Seedsman's website. That's all this really means so far, is what I'm getting out of it.
And when this first happened as well, Billy pointed something out. Like, people are concerned that information is going to get to law enforcement, but this information was stolen, so it's been illegally obtained by the hackers. Point. So the law enforcement are not going to be able to use that information anyway, even if they wanted to. You know, just because you had your name on a particular website, it doesn't mean that you are buying seeds, or even if you were buying seeds, if you're doing it illegally, if you're growing them, there's so much that needs to go into account. So there's no way you should be concerned about law enforcement, in my opinion. And there's many people who have posted on this thread in the forum as well, because we have a thread about this over on the forum, and they agree you shouldn't really be concerned about the authorities in a position like this. So don't freak out too much. I know it's concerning initially, thinking that your information could be out there, but it's information that's available all over the place, so don't be too freaked out.
Yeah, man.
Every company you've bought something off, isn't it? Has got this information. So
that's right. And there is a website out there, I'm sure there's many of them, which Tom sent me as well. He sent me the link to it, where you can go there, put your email address in, and it will tell you if your email address has been leaked by websites in different breaches.
Oh yeah, man.
And shit like
Have
that.
I been pwned, I believe is what it's called.
That's the one, yeah. And, I was going to put my email address in it and find out, but it was like, what if they get hacked? You know what I mean? It's just as part of the trick.
They're the hackers.
You know, they're the ones selling the email address in the first place, but then they just remove their names. You know, like, oh, it wasn't us. And that's not what's happening, everybody. That's just a joke. Calm down. Don't sue us. That website that Monkey mentioned. But, we'll carry on here. What security did Seedsman have in place? Without going into detail, I can say each PC used by team members continuously runs several security software programs, and team members use the multi-factor authentication to access email and other programs or systems. Our IT department uses best practices and a number of hardware and software to protect our systems. We've further reinforced our protections since this cyber incident. And there's something, you know, and you can get all of this top of the range security systems and all this shit, but if somebody wants to get into your website, if they know how, they'll figure out a fucking way. The NHS was hacked a couple of years ago. Shit gets hacked all the time. There's some big hack recently over in the USA, right? Hackers are strong, man.
Happens far too often, actually. No, I just said it happens way too often. It's kind of scary, actually, because we trust these websites with all our information.
Yeah.
You assume, make assumptions, but...
Yeah, that's right, man. I think we're reaching an age in technology now where it's difficult to keep information like that private, you know? But when it goes to the extreme stuff, like the credit card details and shit like that, then, you know, you have to go through extra measures to make sure that shit is locked down and nobody can get hold of that, because, you know, people are spending your money then.
At least I can say when I have done business at Seedsman, I used Bitcoin, so I have zero financial records at risk.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to do it. Buy some Bitcoin, everybody, and don't forget to send some to High on Homegrown. You know?
Yeah, right. Some seed sites no longer take Bitcoin because it's so volatile now, though.
Yeah. We take Bitcoin, everybody. If you want to send High on Homegrown or Percys Grow Room some Bitcoin, ask. I'll send the Bitcoin address to you, no problem. You know. We also have Litecoin and Ethereum as well. So yes, crypto's the future. Hopefully, we'll see if they don't take the electricity away from us first. But yeah, we'll carry on here. We have why did it take so long for Seedsman to notify customers? We responded as quickly and deliberately as possible. once we learned a hacker broke into our systems. We contacted our customers as soon as we had gathered all the information on the breach, understood the level of the problem, double-checked our security on other databases, and done our best to contain the issue. Because of the serious and sensitive nature of the data, we wanted to be sure that we had secured our systems and brought the outside cybersecurity expert before announcing the breach. Are police involved? What authorities were notified? The breach has been reported to the ICO in the UK, as is our legal obligation. We have no obligations in the EU or USA to report the breach given the type of data that has been taken. We have taken legal advice in the UK, EU and USA and do not believe it is necessary or useful at this stage to report the issue to the police. We continue researching the source of the hack and people responsible with cybersecurity team, and will pursue legal charges when/if it becomes possible/necessary. Will the company seek to press charges in the if the cyber theft is identified? Yes, of course they fucking will. But it just goes on to some other stuff there. I don't want to read it all because it's a bit long. But you can find this information on Seedsman's website, of course. If you want to check it out, then do head over there. But, I'll read out the important points here. What has Seedsman done to improve their security since the breach? We have become aware of the breach. We immediately hired a cybersecurity company to advise us on improvements to our security protocols and to work with our team and our development partners. We have updated and further strengthened security protocols for our team members and contractors and increased security software on all team members' computers, as well as encrypting all archived data. Is my data now safe with Seedsman? We are following cybersecurity best practices and using independent outer cyber consultations to improve the security and protocols. We believe our customers' data is safe and will continue to conduct testing to further strengthen our system security to prevent future breaches. How do I know my data is safe? Protecting our customers and their personal data is our priority. Outside cybersecurity experts have helped us identify areas that could be strengthened, and we have addressed those areas. We also have modified our security protocols, added additional software, and invested in additional IT improvements. The breach is akin to a thief breaking into your home despite having strong locks and all of the doors and windows and stealing your valuables. We installed new locks and electronic security system and added trained guard dogs inside, obviously metaphorically, and outside the house to prevent further incidents. So yeah, they've done what they can, to improve the security and make sure this doesn't happen again, or just to prevent it from happening again. It's a scary one, man. You can go to Seedsman and have your data removed if you feel that would be necessary. Just drop them a message and they'll be able to delete your information from the site if you want that to happen. Yes, and then it just goes into instructions on how you can just protect your own computer and shit. So never click on dodgy links and don't open emails that you weren't expecting and things like that. It's pretty simple, really. Just if you wasn't expecting
getting
it, don't
clever
click on
though.
it. Yeah, they're very
clever.
smart. Yeah, It's worth a shitload of money, that business.
Mm-hmm.
People make stupid money from online fraud. Just be careful. And I don't think this is the first seed bank this has happened to. I'm not sure, but I think it happened to another seed bank a couple of months ago. I've heard rumors, so I won't name any names. I don't even know if it's true or not. But it's shit that this has happened to Seedsman, because Seedsman's a good company. We like them. They are sponsors over at the forum. They run giveaways and shit like that. And the Tom's been on the show. They're a good company, and it's shit to see that this happened. And I had to point out on the forum as well that Seedsman are the victims here too. It's shit for them. It's gonna obviously have an impact on their business because nobody wants this kind of shit going on. But...
No, and it's a very highly competitive business right now too, so it's going to hurt them a lot.
That's right. It's shit. Let us know if you've been impacted by this, everybody. Let us know in the comments or in the chat over there if this has impacted you in any way. I think the information, your information's safer now than it was, but when something is online like that, it's never 100% safe. As I said, the NHS got hacked. They would have some
Right.
fucking some proper high quality security, but there's always a way around it, and people are going to find a way around it eventually. That's just the way it goes, man.
I'm surprised the NHS ain't using Windows 95, Matthew, to be honest.
I think they're on XP.
Yeah,
there's been a
yeah,
whole
probably are on XP.
there's been a whole bunch of high profile
Fear
hacks in
stuff.
the US. I think I
Mhm,
want to think I think AT&T got hacked a while back.
Yeah, I think
Even.
you're
It
right.
was
Actually,
crazy.
Mm.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's a
And
big one there.
come
You know,
on,
they got
AT&T.
all your data. You know.
So I wouldn't be too concerned. I think my name would be on the list there because I've been using Seedsman around those times in between those years. It's a long time,
Right.
man. I'm not
Right.
concerned. I'm not concerned. Don't be too concerned about it, everybody. This shit happens. I hope Seedsman recover from it, and they're doing the best to make sure that you're protected as much as you can be. Yeah, that's all you can do, really. Is just do your best.
Yeah. I know a lot of people were concerned about law enforcement getting a hold of this list, but understand that this does not prove by any means that you have even received seeds from Seedsman. This only means that your name was on their website.
That's right.
That is not probable cause for anybody to do anything. So you'll be fine.
Anything to
And-
add on this, Marge?
No, just no.
They're only souvenirs as well, so don't worry.
Well, I was gonna say something about like, don't use the same password for like 10 different sites or something like that, but I feel like most people are pretty aware of that at this point
Yeah,
in
yeah. You
time.
have to be wise to it nowadays,
Yeah.
But-
So if you're still using the same password for like a dozen different websites, this is your wake up call. Change
Yeah.
them.
What you need you got to go out there. You got to get a random password generator, man. Just get a password,
Yeah.
get a few of them, and remember them. It might take a few days to memorize them all with the different symbols, but you can use mnemonic tools to make it easier to remember certain things, and it's then you have a fucking rock solid password that won't be broken until we get quantum computers in 10 years. So you're fine until then.
Yeah. Yeah.
By
Then you have
then
new
it will-
problems.
Yeah, we'll be using DNA
Yeah.
locks or something.
Yeah, but by then we're all
Right.
hacked, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly.
But yes, interesting article here. It's sad to see that this has happened to Seedsman. They're a great company, man. And I hope everybody continues to support them because they're Jack Harrow. They're Jack Harrow. Yeah, that's the best Jack Harrow, man. I love that Jack Harrow. And loads of people have said the same thing. So
Just seeds I grew. We're Seedsman seed. So yeah, I'm definitely on this list too, but it's not freaking me out at all.
yeah, and just to add as well, when Tom has gotten over all this, he's ironing things out, trying to fix up everything. It's a lot of stress for him to go through. But when he's done, he said in a couple of weeks' time, then he'll come on the show for an interview and explain everything to you guys on the interview. So if anybody has any questions or concerns, you can join us live. I'll make that live open to everybody, so you'll be able to come along and join us and ask any questions or concerns that you do have when he's live here with us. So join us for that when that does happen. I'll keep you all informed. But yes. Right then, let's go on to the next one. What were we saying about this? Oh, sorry, Billy. Did you have anything to add to this one? I don't think we got any comments from you towards the end there.
No, it's fine. As you mentioned everything, really. Nothing too much to worry about with, as far as I'm concerned, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
re-sign up and have another go, innit?
That's right. Let's do the rolling papers then. What's going on here? And this is from
Yeah.
Leafie, by the way, everybody. And Leafie being on the show, I think it was the interview that's just gone out this week. Yeah, this is from Kevin and Liam from Leafie. So you can go and read this over on their website as well. Go check out the news out there. But sorry, buddy, carry on, man.
Yeah, man. Basically, saying rolling papers may be contaminated with unsafe levels of heavy metals. So unwanted elements have been found in rolling papers at levels that may be of health hazard to consumers, with heavy smokers considered to be the most at risk, obviously. So again, leading on from like the dodgy weed and pesticides last week, again, this rolling papers, this one's from May the 3rd from Leafie last month. So it's very relevant and very new again. So researchers are concerned with the lack of regulation in the rolling paper industry, and they've published a study in which they analysed 53 rolling paper products available in the US consumer market again.
And that's a good point as well. There is it's the lack of regulation, the amount of regulation that goes into the legal cannabis market. They have to be tested for this heavy metal, that heavy metal, this pesticide, but there's no regulation in the fucking rolling paper. That's weird, right?
That is weird.
It's like,
Especially because a lot of them are sort of so-called hemp-based papers as well nowadays. So it's just odd.
It's all right. Just don't smoke more than 4 joints a day, and you won't die from the lethal level of arsenic in the glue. It's like nobody checking on this. Sorry, man. What else is going on?
Yeah, but it's like, and then they blame the cannabis for all the health conditions you get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maybe it isn't cannabis causing psychosis. It's the papers. It's the fucking papers all along.
Yep, there you go. It's like, so the objective of the objective of the study, published in the journal ACS Omega, was to evaluate if these products were potentially causing a risk to health of consumers. So a team of scientists from Lake Superior State University in Michigan found that a significant amount of the 53 tested products to contain potentially hazardous levels of copper, lead, chromium, vanadium, and other elements. And you're like, what? Copper and lead? It's like shit.
Well,
What?
Sounds like
vanadium's not too
Yeah.
good either. I mean, come on
Yeah.
now.
Well, no,
None of
Sounds
that
like
sounds
paint.
good.
they're trying to turn us into batteries or something. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Chrome is
That's-
horrible. Vanadium's horrible. All of that stuff will kill you, man.
Isn't it? It's like
Ah.
the way it goes on, like arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and lead are commonly considered to be the elements of the greatest human exposure concern. As a result, these elements are always required to be monitored in a commercial pharmaceutical compounds in the US and European Unions. In the sample studied, that was significant variation of the concentration of all 4 elements were measured, concentrations spanning 2 to 3 orders of magnitude. So basically 2 to 3 times the amount of permitted amounts were found in most of the rolling papers. In most of them, it seems, or in all of them, there
That's
was
crazy,
significant
man.
variation in the concentration. So there's a lot of variation even. So it's like, which isn't good. It means like it's probably different when each crop is made. I suppose what they're saying is, I assume, where they get their source products, it seems to be the issue. So using specialist microscopes, researchers discovered that the rolling papers which had been dyed in the manufacturing process contained higher concentrations of a potentially dangerous element, specifically copper. Copper is often used to produce ink that's used to produce in the dyeing of rolling papers to make them appear a certain colour. And I've always thought that. Why would you want like pink or blue or multicoloured papers? It's like
Because it's cool. Because
yeah,
it's
but
cool.
you're smoking ink. It's like you're smoking ink. They're going to use ink, aren't they? It's
Man, I
like,
used to
so-
smoke Marlboro. I'm not concerned about a fucking pink Rizzler.
Well, I think you should be now. Really, to be honest.
Yeah, I am now.
It's
But
like,
now you're
yeah,
reading
yeah,
this
yeah,
with your fucking
yeah, it's like-
clickbaity, fear-giving news article we brought along here. Now nobody's gonna
Yeah.
smoke. You know,
yeah.
gosh.
Well, just stick to
And-
vaping, innit? It's
And
like-
copper as well. You know, have we
Yeah.
already had enough of coppers when it comes to weed?
Is it?
Well, fuck.
Uh,
You see they're playing
See
the
what you
words
did
there?
there?
See what I did?
Yeah. Got it.
Hilarious, man. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, good joke. There you go. Move on. Based on visual examination for further examination under both a stereo microscope and a reflected light microscope.
Is that a
we suspect-
microscope that plays music as you're looking through it?
Maybe. You'd have to have 2 earphones on to look at it, though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
All right. I think Mackie's
Yeah.
had a little bit too much to drink now.
Yeah, that whiskey's definitely got to him, innit?
We're just getting started.
Yeah,
Step
I'm
away
just
from
getting
the bottle,
started.
man.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go. Sorry, Billy. I'm gonna put the mute on. All right.
Yeah, press mute. Shut it. We suspected that several manufacturers were utilizing inks containing copper pigments, or our objective was to determine if the source of the evaluated metal concentrations was related to the product design, raw materials, or additives, or resulted from an inadvertent contamination during production and manufacturing. So researchers expressed concern in their conclusion at the lack of regulation concerning the contaminants in the rolling paper industry. They also recommended that the officials in the US reevaluate their guidelines for the fabrication of these products, and they asked manufacturers to eliminate the use of copper-containing inks in the dyes they use, and have called for more research in the potential health hazards for consumers when facing, because we've got to inhale these elements basically. And again, it's regulation. They're saying again, it's just not in standard smoking products. It's like with everything else, it seems to be regulation up your ass. But this stuff, it's just swept under the carpet. It's a
I
bit
remember
odd,
seeing
really.
them. You remember seeing the see-through, the transparent rolling papers? You ever seen those?
Yeah, they're the Brazilian ones. They're made from rice paper or something, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, just I smoked some of them before. They were dodgy.
They felt plasticky, didn't
Yeah,
they? Yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And you
which
could
is
really
odd,
see
yeah.
your joint get like black as you got towards the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes ignorance is bliss, man. Keep them normal papers. You know.
But it goes on to say that under the current regulatory scheme, rolling papers are virtually unregulated, except in a limited number of jurisdictions, such as state of California, as part of the pre-rolled final product. So it's only the pre-rolls which is tested as such, and the papers are part of that. So, but the standard papers are not tested. So it's only the pre-roll papers that are tested there. So the lack of general regulation is concerning light of their potential to substantially increase exposure to toxic metals and elements, particularly copper. So this is a great concern considering the widespread medical use of cannabis and at-risk populations, which does obviously worry me a bit as well. But living in the EU, I think hopefully we test for that again, so we don't know
everything's
what the
over
fucks we're
tested, isn't it?
smoking.
Yeah, over here in the UK and the EU, there's so many restrictions on things. You would assume that these were being tested, but I'm sure people in the USA are fucking assuming that their papers are being tested for this shit as well.
The majority of the papers have come from Spain, France, and Italy as well. I think really in the EU. So especially like Raw and OCB and all of that, they're the main producers really.
Damn.
So, but I'm not sure. They don't mention what papers or who. It just really says about the coloured ones mostly, and what gums are supposed to be used is the other thing, and obviously what if the hemp's been treated with too many pesticides like the cannabis.
Yeah, but then you get the the really white papers that you get. They've been treated with
bleached,
bleach.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
bleach. You don't really want to fucking smoke that. And Savon says, Mackie, you assume. Assume makes an ass out of you and me. Remember that saying? You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's best not to assume. It's better to go and fucking find out. But damn, now I've got this joint in front of me with delicious cannabis in it, but I'm looking at the paper and I'm thinking, ooh, will this paper kill me if I smoke it? This one? This
Nothing
one
like
paper?
terpenes and copper.
Why does this taste metallic? Jesus.
That's the lead.
Yeah. I do remember back in the day, though, you used to be able to get the flavored papers and the colored papers and the rainbow papers and all the weird things, and they all tasted horrible.
Weird, man.
Yeah, man.
Stonewolf said, I'm assuming Raw would be one of the better brands. I don't know about that, because remember
wasn't
the controversy?
Raw involved? Yeah, what was the scandal they were involved in?
Well, they were saying that their shit was organic, but it wasn't organic.
Right.
Or something like that. But, know, again, you can't just assume,
That was some kind of they were doing some kind of a give back to the community, Raw, or some kind of financial thing was,
like a charity type thing, was it?
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was some sort of charity thing as well going on.
Yeah, that went bogus on Raw. I'll have to look that up. I really don't know, but
I think they've tried to amend themselves since, if you know what I mean, because they're a big company and they don't want to lose their sort of fan base as such. But I think they tried to amend themselves quite a lot with that because they got caught out.
So, it's just
which is nice if people do amend themselves, if you get what I mean. But which is what we want to know. I think we need to now start as a cannabis community. We need to now get people all the seed banks and that, and we want our Rizlas now tested, sort of thing. So with a little stamp on it, we need some sort of regulatory stamp saying, this has been tested and contains no shit.
The stamp will probably contain shit.
Like a community stamp. If you know what I mean, everyone wants to get, so we get tested all over in the US. There's enough little groups and chats. We could all get stuff tested between us, I think, and it's we want to know what we're smoking, sort of, because that's I have fucking lung cancer and emphysema. This is a bit fucking important, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
It's hello and knock, knock, knock sort of thing. It's don't get too blazed in the bay. You don't want to be ending up like me and fucking be told you're going to be dead in 6 months to 2 years because of what you're smoking. It's people need to pull their finger out a little more on the seriousnesses of how we're affected as a cannabis user, because we're being killed with what we're smoking with our papers. We're fucking being doors kicked off and families prosecuted with the law. You know what I mean? So we need to sort of stand up and start fucking representing ourselves a bit, don't we?
I guess
it's not doing us any favors just sitting here, is it?
No, exactly.
Ridiculous, man.
trying to think about this now. I think I've still got the same pack of papers going from when I first joined Percys. Does that show how few joints I actually roll?
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's always pipes, bongs, vaporizers, something else. It
Yeah.
just, yeah, don't know.
Are rolling papers for cigarettes also affected? I would assume so, but there we go. We're assuming again. But yeah, probably.
Yeah,
That's a really good
Say same
question.
thing, yeah,
Mhm.
same thing, no difference.
Nobody
It's
ever
all- it's-
talks about what paper
Yeah.
they use
Shit.
for cigarettes,
But you know,
Yeah.
with
I
all the
guess
shit in tobacco, it's like
I know. Does it matter?
Mhm.
That's just
It
it. Yeah,
doesn't
I mean,
really.
we know the
Yeah.
things that they're putting in tobacco, so it's crazy that we even think about the paper being clean. I get
Yeah,
that.
but that ain't going to help because of the concoction of metals in which you smoke and then create new chemicals again, which are even
Mhm.
worse. So
Mhm.
that's what
Mhm.
the problem with smoking is, that it's not the 1,000 chemicals in it, it's the 8 to 10,000 that get created whilst you're smoking it as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bit mental.
Yeah, Grumpus said, so those Chinese papers I got off Temu are going to kill me.
Huh.
Most likely,
Yes.
Grumpus.
Yes.
Most likely.
Definitely.
I'm
Yeah.
sure those have lots of lead in them for your
Yeah.
smoking pleasure. Enjoy.
I'd get a tin of paint and make papers out of that. Is probably less lead in it.
Mhm.
God
My
damn.
daughter, the chemist, was telling me about paper that they're making in China out of rocks. So you might be smoking
Really?
rock paper. Who knows?
Rock, paper,
That's
scissors.
interesting.
So I was just gonna say scissors. You beat me to it. We should all just shout scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Crazy
they don't
shit.
have any trees over there, so that they're actually making paper out of anything they can think of, and
Wow.
they've figured out a way how to make paper out of rock. So go
Wow.
figure. Yeah,
That shit must be hard to fold.
I have no idea.
Anyway.
There's a lot of jokes you can do with that one. I get it.
Yeah. Why don't they just use rice paper?
They're eating the rice. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's part of their staple diet. Yeah, are we allowed to say that? I don't know. I don't know.
What are you
Maybe
gonna
not.
do? You're
Not nowadays, but we did anyway. So there we go.
You're gonna read the mail and then eat the mail. Is that how it works? You know.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Don't forget to consume your letter afterwards. The ink is
Exactly.
completely lead-free.
Exactly.
What do we have going on down in Louisiana? What's this one about?
Oh, jeez. You know, I saw this headline and it's like, what the? Okay, this comes from Marijuana Moment. The headline says, Louisiana governor vetoes bill that would let him pardon past marijuana convictions. Now, I read that headline and I just kind of like, what? He vetoed what? So
Yeah, it sounds confusing. You're like, what? Hang on.
Exactly. Okay, so it says the governor of Louisiana has vetoed a bill that would have allowed him and future governors to issue pardons for people with past cannabis convictions. Governor Jeff Landry, Republican, rejected the legislation on Wednesday, about a month after it was approved by the legislature. The governor said the bill appears to be an attempt to have Louisiana accept President Biden's invitation to the states to join in on soft crime, no consequence for criminals agenda. On behalf of Louisiana, this is a quote, on behalf of Louisiana and her great people, I decline such an invitation and will continue to fight to strengthen our criminal justice system and the rule of law in Louisiana, Landry wrote in his veto message. So this guy doesn't say that he has to pardon anybody. He just basically said, nobody's going to pardon anybody in Louisiana. So that's what got my attention on this one. It's like, wow.
Can you say that again? So he's actually stopping future people as well, governors. How the fuck can you stop future governors from making laws? That's a bit draconian, isn't it?
Yes,
the legislature passed a bill basically that would have given him the power to pardon cannabis convictions. And if he would have signed it, he would not have to pardon anybody himself, but future governors could pardon him. So he decided to throw the baby away with the bathwater here. Just throw it all away. Doesn't mean that it'll never happen again, but it's basically this is a gesture on his part, it looks like, to start up the war on drugs or something like that almost again. It's very strange and very confusing here. I mean, it's not going to be permanent in any way, because once this governor leaves, it could be brought up again for the next governor to sign. So it's strictly a figure, it's strictly a gesture. It's nothing permanent going to happen here.
Can't change it while I'm in power type thing.
Pretty much the way it is, you
Yeah.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it keeps going. It says, in the meantime, it remains to be seen what Louisiana governor will do with the separate proposals to decriminalize cannabis paraphernalia and regulate hemp products that have also been sent to his desk.
It's not looking good.
Well, I mean, recently here, the legislature shot down the complete ban in Louisiana on hemp-derived cannabinoids. So he wanted that. Gotten rid of in Louisiana, apparently, and that was saved. So now we're at this thing here. So the pardon bill from Representative Delisha Boyd, Democrat, would have made people convicted of cannabis possession eligible for a gubernatorial pardon after paying all court costs associated with the offense, without the need for a recommendation from the Board of Pardons. Individuals could have received a pardon for their first possession offense, and anyone who receives such a pardon shall not be entitled to receive another pardon by the governor pursuant to the section the legislation said. Boyd told Marijuana Moment that the governor's veto represents a missed opportunity to give citizens a second chance by allowing the governor to provide pardons or parole for certain marijuana convictions. This legislation could have offered a pathway for individuals to overcome consequences of past convictions, promoting fairness and equity in the criminal justice system, she said. The decision underscores the complexities of the ongoing need for more compassionate and progressive approaches to addressing past offenses. It was not intended to be soft on crime approach, but a second chance for those who have served their time. The governor also argued that in his veto message that the legislation explicitly violates a Louisiana Constitution provision saying that the Board of Pardons recommendation is required before a governor can grant clemency. Now, true, it does violate that, but by passing the law, it's no longer would be in violation. So I don't understand his statement there, you know? It was basically the law said that he could pardon them without the Board of Pardons. I don't know. It's just very confusing. I live down in the deep South, and I'm watching things happening in Texas, Louisiana, and Florida right now that's just blowing my mind away. I can't believe the stuff that's going on down here right now.
Do you think it's electioneering as well? Just trying to.
It very much appears to be that way, Billy, because all these governors are heavy Republican MAGA governors in there, because we have a national election right now where the Republican side is heavy MAGA. It appears that these governors are fostering posture here coming up in election. They want to be seen as powerful MAGA governors coming on here. And I hate to say it, but the citizens of these states are going to lose in the battle here, Tough on crime is expensive, and it does nothing but basically create problems for everybody involved.
Can't be soft on them hippies now, sort of thing.
It's so crazy though, because the
God
crime
damn
itself
hippies.
is like they're all like, oh, we're hard, what appears tough on crime, but it's a pretty soft crime in the first place.
Mhm.
Like it's
Yeah.
so I don't.
Well,
It's
the
just-
veto here was strictly to control the situation. He says he wasn't going to use it, obviously, from his statements that he was never planning on pardoning anybody from cannabis conviction here whatsoever. But he doesn't want anybody else to ever have that opportunity either. So it's just crazy, But I don't know. I'm curious, and maybe if I should have taken the time and done some research. In Louisiana, does the governor have the ability to pardon a criminal anyway without this?
What can
I'm
you
not
do if it
really
was a
sure.
state law and not a federal law? Would that work?
This would have only affected state crimes. Governor can't do anything to federal crime, just like the president can't do anything to state crimes. It's just the way that it is in the United States. But I'm curious if the governor already has power to pardon people he wants to, and maybe this was slamming the door on people he didn't think were worthy of being pardoned. It's
well,
curious.
it was saying here about the Board of Pardons. Does it have to go through before a board before it can be?
Yeah, but I'll be
Pardoned by
honest
the
with
governor?
you, in the South here,
Mhm.
there is so much wheeling and dealing going on, and it's
Right.
so crooked. It's just one of these things that the governor calls the Board of Pardons and say, I want this, and they'll make a deal, and who knows, before you know it, it'll happen. Question, Honky, is the mega thing a redneck Southern Bible pumping thing? It's a MAGA thing, pretty much.
Make America great again.
Yeah.
them cool red
Mhm.
hats that people wear. The Kanye hats. You know?
The Kanye hats, right? To go with your Yeezys when you wear your Yeezys.
That's right, with your Yeezys, yeah. Well, yeah. And you remember that Jesse Smollett guy, Jesse Smollett, who said he was attacked by them two guys wearing MAGA hats at 2 a.m. when he went to get a Subway. Funny story. Funny story.
Okay, so let's keep going on this article.
But yeah, sorry, just to interrupt there. Yeah, mega hats is Make England Great Again. I've seen those at protests recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, mega hats, man.
Are they red?
Yeah, it's just like a MAGA hat, but with England instead of America. It's like, God damn, where can I get me one of those? I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
There was some parody hats that came out were MUGA hats, Make Ukraine Great Again.
Oh my God. Oh my
But they were blue. I think they were blue with
blue and yellow. Yeah.
Yellow, probably. Yeah, something to that effect, like there. But yeah, there was supposed to be an insult. One of the lawmakers in the United States brought that into a news conference, and of course, the other side said, "Hey, it's a great opportunity." So all of a sudden, they started mass producing these MUGA hats.
Wow.
People will buy anything, man. It's crazy. But anyway, I'm sorry. Tangents. There you go.
Tangent.
Okay, so it says, meanwhile, the governor still has several other cannabis bills pending in action. One of the proposals, also sponsored by Boyd, would limit the penalty for possession, sale, and or use of cannabis paraphernalia to a $100 fine. That should have been signed years ago. Under existing law, cannabis paraphernalia carries a penalty up to $300 and 15 days behind bar for the first offense, which increases on later offenses. Second conviction carries a $1,000 fine and imprisonment of not more than 6 months, while the third and subsequent convictions carry fines of $2,500 and imprisonment with or without hard labor for up to 2 years. This is for paraphernalia, people.
That's wild. That's so crazy.
That's fucked, man.
2 years hard labor for a bong.
Really?
Wow.
And a $2,500 fine, man. Come on.
Or like, oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah, welcome to the Deep South, guys. It's nuts.
No, like hard labor as well. You know, you just imagine the guy swinging the hammer,
breaking rocks. Yeah,
you know,
breaking rocks.
Like I just had my vape on me because the papers all had lead in them.
They send you down the sewers to clean them, mate. That's the sort of hard labor I'd be making prisoners do.
That's scary, man.
Bloody scummy degenerates.
Well, it says also the governor will also decide on legislation that will enact regulations for hemp products. It was introduced, it would have imposed an outright ban, but instead it was amended to tighten regulations, including by lowering the amounts of THC that can be consumed by hemp products to prevent them from being sold at gas stations. Last month, the governor signed a separate bill to transfer medical cannabis cultivation in the state from Louisiana State University and Southern University to private contractors. Now, I saw that come up, and I didn't report on that last week. He basically took it away from the universities that were getting the funds for cultivation in that state and outright gave it to large corporations.
That doesn't sound shady at all.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Move along.
Move along. I was
Fully
kind of
above
wondering
Yeah.
how that re-election campaign's looking after that decision there, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
May need a big beep over that bit there as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the
Sponsored by Hoctor.
that this whole bill should be sponsored by Hoctor.
Exactly, yeah.
Loop that thing up, man. Come on, man. In latest developments, follow a decision by House lawmakers last month to scuttle legislation that would have laid out a regulatory framework for legalizing adult use cannabis in the state, with members voting 57 to 37 against the proposal from Representative Candace Newell, a Democrat. Let's see, we'll finish up pretty quickly here. So as it stands in Louisiana, possession of the 14 grams or half an ounce of cannabis is decriminalized and punished by only a $100 fine without the threat of jail time.
Well, that's criminalized then, isn't it? These crazy people. It's decriminalized now. Only the poor have to suffer if they're found with it.
Really, if you don't have $100, it's still criminal, isn't it? You got to go to jail. So
well, they just fine you for the weed, but then they throw you in the clink for the bong that you had with you.
Wow,
that's how they get you.
That is bizarro. That's right. You can have half ounce of weed, but you can't have that pipe or that bong with those papers.
Yeah, especially them poisonous papers.
Oh, jeez. So 7 in 10 Louisiana. So 7 in 10 Louisianans support or legalizing recreational cannabis for possession by adults.
Wow.
And 9 in 10 back medical cannabis legislation, according to a survey released last year. Now, I have a question. Why in Louisiana, if you've got all of these people supporting it, is this governor doing all this crazy shit?
Because he switched it from universities to private, so he's obviously like allegedly got a big fat bank account somewhere.
Yeah,
For some
I think
reason.
it was Good Day Farms, and that's another big company that's doing all the cultivation in that state now. So it's nuts. But yeah, we gave it all to 2 companies, you know, and that's everything that we don't want in legal cannabis is big cultivation, big pharma, all that stuff involved. We'd rather see small cultivated grows, craft grows, keep it in the community, keep the money in the state, the whole thing like that. So
Everyone
anyway,
should be able to have a go, yeah.
residents of Louisiana, you have my sympathy. This doesn't sound good right now.
No.
Oh well, it won't last for long.
Oh, well.
Yeah, it's just that
Yeah,
these things are
hopefully-
moving forward just fucking slowly. I don't think this will stand up for very long. In a few years' time, it will be moving on to the next thing. It's just
Maybe I'm sorry, I know they've switched it over to the pharmaceutical companies. Maybe they'll look at all the other places which are making a lot of money, and they're like, well, hang on, we need to start making up our own dispensaries and legalizing.
imagine being locked up there in prison, looking out the fucking window through the bars. You know, with your hands on the bars, like stereotypical and shit. And you're looking out there, and you can see a fucking dispensary on the street down the road.
But you got locked up for a bong.
Yeah, but you got locked up because you fucking
Right.
smoking out a bong.
That's it.
America.
Yeah. The 2 grams
Land
of
of the
weed you
free.
have, that wasn't a problem. That only cost you $100 for the 2 grams of weed you have. But that bong will
Yeah.
send you to jail. That's a fucking stupid thing, man.
Very interesting story. I wonder how this one's going to progress. We'll see how it happens, man. But yeah, good
Yeah,
on
it
them,
is.
okay? Good luck to everybody out there in Louisiana. God damn.
Stay safe, guys.
Yeah,
Really.
stay safe, man, for real. Right, what we got here? We got Marge. Canada
Yeah.
is trying to take
Meanwhile-
over the world, allegedly.
Meanwhile, in Canada,
Ooh.
we have plans to make Canada the world cannabis tourism leader. So
Okay.
I'm behind it because, well, that would be handy. The Canadian Cannabis Tourism Alliance has unveiled a plan that they say would make Canada the cannabis tourism capital of the world. The nonprofit organization, which advocates for advancing cannabis tourism, has developed a comprehensive and provincial legislative and regulatory proposals that will advance access to cannabis and make the country the planet's ultimate cannabis tourism destination.
Woohoo.
I can't help but get behind that. I mean,
Who
Why
couldn't? I
not?
mean, come on, let's do this.
yeah. They worked in partnership with Substance Law, Canada's law firm for regulated substances and industries. The CCTA, which is that Canadian Cannabis Tourism Alliance, has presented its proposal to decision makers at both federal and provincial levels, having already received initial interest due to their breadth and depth, and they'll continue to do so in coming weeks. Some of the proposed federal amendments include removing the 30-gram public possession cap on products that remain sealed, authorizing provinces to allow sellers to transform purchased cannabis products into other forms at the point of sale on behalf of purchasers. I'm not sure what that means, but such as
You can buy bud and make rosin and shit, yeah.
Yeah, such as I didn't read far enough on that sentence. Such as through rosin pressing and infusion into food. That would be interesting to me. Modernizing promotion laws to allow the industry to communicate their products better while upholding prevention of youth access to cannabis. Reforming the excise duty and stamping framework, protecting the medical cannabis system by allowing physical pickup and removing GST, HST. Oh, that's also interesting. That's GST, HST is the tax that gets applied to everything in this country, pretty
Ooh,
much.
Oh,
that
right,
would be
okay.
good.
Your goods and services tax, increasing edible potency limits and allowing for healthy edible choices that require refrigeration, such as prepackaged meals. I would love to see that as well. Provincial proposals include licenses for spas and salon premises to sell cannabis topicals in a limited fashion, through administration to persons receiving spa salon services, establishing a permit system allowing authorized cannabis retailers to sell cannabis at off-site events for temporary events, activities, and occasions, establishing a golf course authorization, allowing golf clubs to sell certain forms of cannabis to players on the golf course, playing areas subject to limits, removing the 30 gram per visit purchase limit, because right now you have a 30 gram limit when you go to any legal dispensary, but the way that accrues is kind of ridiculous. Extending permissible store hours of operations to 2 a.m., which would be align with last call laws for bars in the provinces. Exempting sightseeing vehicles and boats from provincial offenses against transportation and consumption of cannabis. They also included in its proposals amendments that intend to advance the voices and interests of underserved communities, such as those that identify as BIPOC and individuals with disabilities, including an amendment that would include band council resolutions and federal definitions of provincial act under the Cannabis Act, and proposing tax credits for companies that employ those in underserved communities or retrofit their establishments to provide better access to those with disabilities. So I hope that this all happens because I think that would be fantastic. Imagine
all
you could
sounds
like go to the
promising, right?
spa, go to
Mm.
like the golf course. Not that I
Yeah,
golf,
man.
but still
No,
like
but the golfers
just
go
making
out there
it
and they buy beer on the golf course. Why shouldn't they be able to enjoy a vape or whatever, you know?
and honestly, they're probably doing it anyway.
Right. I
So
get it.
like
But
yeah,
come on, the club could actually sell it,
yeah,
make money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And even like the spas and stuff, like it would be nice to be able to go get a massage and have some kind of like massage oil with I don't know, THC and CBD in it or something like
Yeah.
that. Or
Yeah,
yeah,
vape. Go into a room and vape before the massage, and then get the
yeah,
oil, the infused oil. Yeah, now you're talking my language. Where do I sign
right.
up?
Rosin pressing, infusion into food, and then being also allowed to like have refrigerated food. Because I have seen in the States in some places where they have like full on almost like cafeteria like places where you can buy infused foods.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Not where I'm at, but yeah,
right. Yeah, I've seen them. I don't know where they are, but yeah.
yeah. There's some places you can actually have ice cream and stuff, infused that
Yeah,
you
which
buy.
would be awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
If
So I
somebody's having
know
troubles keeping it
Living
down,
the
and
dream.
that'd be a good way to consume it.
the CCTA is very active because I have a friend that's on that board of on the with that organization. And if they pull this off, we really could become the cannabis tourism destination of the world.
Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with
good luck.
that. I mean,
Good luck. I
Thanks.
mean, it's already turning into that, really. I mean, I think people are more inclined to go to Canada now rather than the Netherlands. It's much further, but people would enjoy going to
Yeah.
Canada. You know,
In the
Ha-
summer, sure.
yeah, that's the problem. You know, it's like, can you make
Right.
your country warmer? We're working on it, but it's going to take a couple
Well,
hundred years.
yeah, just give it a bit of time. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing it. Yeah, everybody else is doing it. It's what it is.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
that's why they want all the plastic on the for all the packaging. It's like, let's speed up this warming thing. Every joint needs to be in all this plastic packaging.
Right.
We
Well, it
figured
just
them
sounds
out.
like too
We're
they're
onto it.
trying to make it a lot more in line with like the alcohol industry, which totally
Yeah.
makes sense at
Mm,
this point
mhm.
because they've figured out kids aren't getting access to weed and
Mhm.
nobody's like going crazy. The sky hasn't fallen.
Yeah.
Nope.
So, yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. Congratulations to Canada. Another good step forward there. I hope it works out, man. Well, I hope the UK becomes the cannabis tourism leader of the world. I won't lie, but you are
Right.
well ahead. But we can
Yeah,
catch
at least
up.
they got it legal,
know.
man. I mean, that's the
At
good
least you're in
thing.
the Commonwealth. At least you're
It's
like,
it.
we're related. You know.
Right. Yeah, that's
Didn't-
very true. That's very
We
true.
need to point out the tax thing as well, that the fact them dropping tax for the medical
that's good.
people, that's a big
Mhm.
thing, that is, because
Mhm.
when you
Yeah.
spend a lot of money, then obviously, especially when the limits go up, so that seems like you'd be able to have RSOs and oils, so you'd be able to buy that in bulk, and you ain't gonna be taxed out your ass for buying
Well,
like
in
a
most places
load
too,
of
that
oil.
that that goods and services tax is like 13%. It's a
That's
lot.
high. Man,
That's
Yeah.
high, isn't it? Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's a lot. It adds up very quickly.
Especially over the course of a year, for when you're doing medication on a regular basis, that's like a bludge. That could be like a good few £1,000 for some people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
so yeah, it's all
Okay.
good. That
And just to move on to the next, before we move on to the next one, there we have Savans in the chat said, "Marge, congrats to the world's best edibles podcast. Happy birthday!" That's right. It's
yeah.
Bright Meat's 5 years old now, right?
Yes, that's right. It was 5 years this week. Woo!
Nice.
Woo!
Congratulations, Marge. That's very cool.
good
Thank you.
deal.
yeah,
Yeah. And everybody needs to go and download some episodes over on Bite Me, the show about edibles. It's been 5 years now. You should have at least listened to some of those. So if you haven't, go and do so.
Yeah, if you haven't, shame on you, but I'll
Shame
accept
on
you anyway.
For shame. For shame. Yes. So what do we have next? This dodgy one from the UK.
Uh-oh.
Right.
I
So
like
this guy
this
he
one.
went on holiday. And I've got to wonder how much this is happening. And yet again, before I even start, none of this would be happening if it was properly legalized and regulated. So, cry yourself a river, motherfuckers. I don't care. Yeah, I do. Sorry. It's not this guy's fault. It might be. He might be in on it. Let's get through the story, and then we can discuss what the fuck is going on. Cannabis crooks dumped 10 tons of soil in my bedroom. Well, okay.
That's so much soil.
And
How?
I'm just skeptical about it's 10 tons. I mean, you can see in the picture there, he's sitting on it. It's like, is that 10 tons? I don't know. Maybe you're exaggerating.
10 tons, isn't that like 20,000 pounds?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
he exaggerating a bit? Is this a
I think
little
I
clickbaity?
think so. It's from the BBC, so pinch of salt. Anyway.
What's that in liters and gallons?
Oh, come on, let's not fucking convert it all the way down. Jesus, all the way down to milliliters. How many milliliters of soil is that? I turned the lights on, and it's, oh my God, 3 feet of soil in my bedroom. So
Nice.
that must have been how Johnny Depp felt that time. Charles
that's
Reeves
so bad.
says, no, that was a good joke, Marge. That was a
It
good
was
joke.
good, yes. It was so
But it
good,
was in bad
bad.
taste. Yeah.
Yeah.
Charles Reeves says, still in disbelief, as he shows the BBC his home. I'm surprised the floors even withstanding all of this stuff. Yeah, I mean, goddamn, I'm surprised because if it's not on the ground, then it's if it's up on the second floor of the house, up the stairs, I'm surprised it wouldn't have fallen through. That can hold a lot of weight. Now, it encourages me to maybe build that raised bed if I wanted to build. We'll see about that. Mr. Reeves, a North London homeowner, returned from working abroad to find his family home transformed into a cannabis farm. The criminals, posing as tenants, had dumped 10 tons of soil in the property, causing extensive damage and leaving the family devastated. According to experts, rental scams linked to cannabis farms are on the rise, with criminals seemingly exploiting the lengthy eviction process to complete illegal grow operations before disappearing. You can see some of the grow there, some pictures of the grow on the screen if you're watching on the YouTube right now. The Reeves family had advertised their property online as they prepared to work abroad. They were approached by the estate agent who discovered they would be away for an extended period. The agent promised them a family of tenants supposedly working for a city firm and with children. However, the tenants turned out to be scammers who never paid rent and instead used the property for criminal activities. It was later discovered that the estate agent was operating a fake site and the tenants were bogus. Oh my God. How pissed would you be? Damn. And a property in London as well. Billy, you know about the house prices in London. This guy got a fucking 3-bedroom house in London. What's that going to be? 800,000? Something ridiculous?
Yeah, it's going to be 500,000 sort of minimum, and that's going to be a crap area. Most probably be like 650, 750. Some of them might be 1.2 million quid, mate. Be paying
Crazy,
a lot
man.
of council tax on that shit for sure.
The police told Mr. Reeves it was one of the worst cases of this kind they had seen. They seized more than 400 cannabis plants from the property with an estimated street value of hundreds of thousands of pounds. Scrolly scroll. Mr. Reeves went to the property after the tenants had failed to pay their rent, having gained a court order to enter the house. And that's your own house. You have to get a court order to enter it. Yeah. But you're renting it out and all that. Yeah, that can be understandable. But shit, man. These guys haven't even paid rent, and you have to go through all this trouble going through the courts and shit to be like, yo, what the fuck's going on? Anyway, he knocked on the door and was greeted by several men, with one claiming the property was in good condition. Within half an hour, these men had disappeared, although we don't know what role they played in the farm. Maybe they just didn't see 10 tons of soil in the upstairs bedroom. Yeah, don't go in there. That's not for you. he knocked it, which they played in the farm. Yeah. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, Mr. Reeves said. Described the moment he entered the house. The cannabis crooks dumped it. This is in quotes as well. So the guy actually said this. The cannabis crooks dumped 10 tons of soil in the family bedroom. The cannabis crooks. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. The whole place had been transformed into a drug factory. There were holes in the ceiling, wires everywhere, and the stench was overwhelming. Mr. Reeves discovered an elaborate setup with fans, lights, and a ventilation system powered by stolen electricity. So, you know, at least he returned to a fucking house and it didn't burn down. You know? The criminals had rewired the property's electrical system to bypass the meter, allowing them to power their extensive grow operations without detection. In addition to the tons of soil dumped on the upper floor of the property, had suffered significant structural damage. Holes had been cut into the ceiling and walls to accommodate the complex ventilation system. Yeah, listen how fucking ridiculous I'm trying to sound right now. It's like I don't even know what to fucking say. It's not a complex ventilation system. It's a fucking extractor and a few fucking hoses, man. You know what I mean? It's not complex. They just go on like dickheads sometimes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Complex ventilation system. Oh, they had a fan and it sucked air in and it blew air out. Nobody had ever seen anything like it before. God
Where do you
damn.
find that thing from?
You know what I mean? God damn, so sophisticated. Anyway, it's just ridiculous when they say this shit. Just fucking try and give us actual facts without embellishing them, you dickheads. Which was designed to regulate the temperature and humidity for optimal growth. You know, like blowing out hot air and sucking in cool air. You know, real sophisticated. The sophisticated lighting setup.
Yeah, right.
You know, which included lights with bulbs that were plugged into walls. It doesn't say that. I'm just exaggerating. Sorry. The sophisticated lighting setup, which included specialist grow lamps, had been rigged up throughout the house. The intense heat generated by these lamps also caused damage to property, with burn marks and melted fixtures visible in several rooms.
Yeah, it's HPS, man, old school stuff, garbage. You know.
You can see it in the pictures here. And there's lots of them as well.
Not sophisticated lighting setup at all.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Fucking hell, it's
the cheapest,
definitely
easiest you can get. Yeah, definitely nothing sophisticated here.
There was a big curtain here. This is astonishing, Mr. Reeves says. They had fans going, the lights were going, the curtain was being pulled in. So they just left it all there and you complaining, bro? What the? Finish the crop and stop being a pussy. I'm only joking, of course. This is not cool. But that's definitely not 10 tons of soil. You see it on the screen, everybody? If you can see the screen right now, you watch it on YouTube, you see that? I mean, that's not 10 tons of soil, is it?
Sorry. Maybe what would you say, Mackie? 800 pounds, maybe.
Oh, I wouldn't even like.
I'm thinking 10 80-pound bags would probably fill that room up from what I'm seeing. You know.
Yeah, you know.
It's not that deep.
I mean, maybe if it was just watered and it wasn't dry, then maybe it would weigh a ton. You know, it's definitely not 10. But they like to exaggerate these things, you know. And here we go. We carry on with the story. We got the emotional toll on the family from both the rental fraud and the damage caused to their home has been immense. Mr. Reeves' wife, Julia, said, "We are dealing with property, particularly a home that you're in for nearly 20 years and raising your child in. It was pretty horrific to feel that you got attacked at the core of the inner sanctum, that place of comfort." She's definitely from London. With using words like this, the place of comfort that we'd rely on in the city. It's our home, very emotional. Yeah, and it's gonna be shit, you know, make jokes out of it and shit. But this is their house, man. This is their home, and they've raised their kid there and shit. Went to work away for a little bit, and then came back, and the house is fucking full up. Savan said in the chat there, maybe it was his grow. I do have those suspicions as well. You know, but he found it and called the police. It's not like if the police discovered it and then he found out, then I'd be more inclined to think that way. But yeah, he found it and then called the police, and he wouldn't call the police on himself unless the guys were just shit growers. And he's like, how the fuck do I get these fools out of here? Anyway, Mr. Reeves said, emotionally, it feels like my home has been defiled. It has been soiled. Sorry. Poor joke again. Apologies, everybody. That's what it feels like. The damage, the dirt, All this dirt everywhere. God damn. This is the first real home
Filth.
I ever had. We're crushed and devastated. Yeah, it's shit, man. Metropolitan Police figures show more than 1,000 cannabis farms have been discovered in London in the past few years, with a total of 1,056, sorry, found between the 2018 and 2019 and 22 to 23 financial years. However, experts believe these figures represent only a tiny proportion of the cannabis farms currently in operation. According to Alan Morgan, one of the UK's leading expert witnesses from criminal drug trials and former police officers who now runs a drug consultancy service, rental fraud linked to cannabis farms is increasing. Yeah, because rent's so high, people need to fucking sell a shitload of weed on the side to pay the bills.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not get into that conversation. We'll do that on Thursday for the politics stream. We're seeing a definite uptick in these types of crimes, with criminals taking advantage of the rental market to set up illegal grow operations. He says the criminals exploit the legal system and the eviction process. They know that it can take months to evict a tenant, even if they start paying rent. During this time, they can complete multiple grows and make a significant profit before disappearing without a trace. The lack of regulation in the rental property sector has made it easier for fraudsters to operate. Estate agents are not required to have qualifications despite handling significant assets. This can leave homeowners vulnerable to scams and other criminal activities. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is, Mr. Morgan warns. If somebody turns up offering to pay cash because they've been let down and they need to move in immediately, the alarm bells should start to ring. The cannabis trade has evolved from small-scale grows to sophisticated multi-million-pound operations, allegedly run by international crime syndicates. London, blah, 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 blah. This is going to go on for a while longer, but we get the gist of the article. There's not really much else to read on here, but, you know, what does it tell you when small-scale grows have suddenly turned into multi-million-pound operations? Maybe the war on drugs is not working. Maybe you should try a different approach, like legalizing and regulating cannabis properly, and then these problems will go away. Fucking idiots. Know what I'm
Yeah, you could
saying?
be having a very different conversation. You could be talking about bringing tourism to the UK,
Yeah.
making it the tourism capital of over there.
Fucking
Instead,
rub it in, Marge. Go on, rub it
That's
in.
right.
Yes, it, Marge.
You need
Yeah.
to be competing with Canada.
Thanks,
being the
Marge.
Cannabis capital of the world. you know what?
Gosh.
yeah,
Gosh,
but I'm
don't know
just
what the
saying, you
problem
could be
is.
having that conversation if the lawmakers could just see past their own bullshit.
Wallets.
Yeah, that.
Damn.
And then we wouldn't be having stories like this. Because I
Yeah.
can't even imagine like the cleanup required for something, like when they just dumped it right on the floor, the soil. That's what it looks like in the
They'd have
picture.
to do that themselves as well because they own the
Yeah.
property. That's their own
That's a
liability.
huge fucking job, and it would be so hard to get it all.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna have some nice plants in their garden growing soon. That's all I can see.
Craziness, man. Craziness. But
Yeah.
unlucky to the guy, and you know, unlucky to everybody else this is going to happen to in the future, because your government is letting you down and not creating proper regulation to ensure that this doesn't happen. You know, what can you do? What can you do?
You can pressurize your government to change your laws.
That's right. The election is nearly here. Vote accordingly. Don't forget to come and join us on Thursday if you're in the UK. And if you're anywhere else as well, you can come and join us as well. We're just going to be talking about UK politics. But you might be able to learn what's good for you in your local area. And, you know, just some recommendations and get some facts about who stands for what.
I'm sure there won't be any ranting involved in that one.
Of course not. It's going to be very calm and collected, I would think. Yeah. As it usually is.
Always.
Yeah. Anyway, what's going on in California? What's going on with the state fair, man?
Oh, it's going to be a good state fair. You know that? Well,
Is it
It
going to be
usually
Ferris
is, right?
wheels?
It's world famous fucking
Yeah,
fair.
if there ain't no
Well-
Ferris wheels, then I'm not interested.
Well, this Ferris wheels are going to be a little more fun this year because this year it says California State Fair will allow marijuana sales and on-site consumption for first time.
Yeah. You get extra high now. Extra high on the Ferris wheel.
Some THC candy floss.
Well, it's kind of like Marge said before, though. It's like, yeah, you can really. They probably were doing this before, but now it's going to be allowed. You
now
know,
it's
those
official.
things. Yeah. So it says this year, California State Fair will make history with cannabis sales and on-site consumption being allowed for the first time. While the annual fair has featured cannabis competitions and educational booths in recent years, it will be the first time that the state-sanctioned event will permit adults to consume and purchase cannabis. Hosting cannabis sales and consumption is a groundbreaking milestone in destigmatization and facilitating a deeper connection with consumers and the farmers who cultivate their products with such care. Lauren Carpenter, co-founder of the cannabis company Embark, which is the fair's partner for the expanded marijuana offerings, said in a press release. At the event, which takes place on July 12th through 28th, adults 21 years and older will be able to review different cannabis products, add them to virtual shopping carts, and pick them up at one of Embark's on-site dispensaries. The fair will also feature a 30,000 square foot consumption area. Woohoo! I love that.
That's
Wow.
huge.
That's massive.
Yeah, it's a great space there.
the
You know, we
fuck?
actually go in there. It won't be one of those dark, smoky rooms where you can't breathe. You know, that'd be
Right.
nice. But yeah, I mean that right there, that's a state fair. I mean, I can go purchase cannabis and I can actually try it, and go purchase something else and try
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's gonna be so cool. Fuck.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Let's
then
go.
after that,
When is it?
you
Next
can-
week? Yeah, we'll go there.
After
Let's
that,
go.
you can do roller coasters and everything else, and you know, you
Is
get the
the
munchies.
is
go
the
eat
jet
food.
free? Is it?
Yeah, I'll fire up the jet. We'll get it warmed
Yeah,
up
yeah.
now.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Taylor
The
Swift just
high
borrowed
jet.
it to come over here
Yeah.
for the tour she's doing
Alright.
over here. So we just lent it to her,
yeah.
but I'm sure she wouldn't mind.
Tell her to return it full of fuel, please.
Yes, of course.
Okay, always. I always do that. Yeah.
Fresh fuel. If there's any fuel left, burn it on the runway until it's gone, then top it up. So make sure it's full.
Yeah,
Thank you. Want
always
fresh
fresh.
fuel only. Thank you, Taylor Swift. You know how it is.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you, Dan Swift, as well.
Yes.
Continuing the quote, it says this initiative spotlights the significant role of cannabis in California's agricultural industry, marking a major milestone in the state fair's 170-year history. James Levitz, executive producer for the Cannabis Complex and Exhibit said, expanding the competition to include all forms and providing patrons with the opportunity to directly engage with and consume winning brands is transformative for public understanding of the plant. I have to agree. I mean, going to a cannabis cup and being able to buy the winning cannabis right there, that would be the ultimate, you know, for me at least. You know, I mean, why not think about that though? You have auctions for all other kind of things. You know, you'll get rare wine and it'll go up on the auction block and it'll fetch major amounts of money. You go to different agricultural events where the winning animal is auctioned off at the end for big bucks. Why not auction off the best cannabis there? You know, and let the grower get some real money for this. In my opinion, it's a great idea. Okay, this initiative spotlights significant role. Got all of that there. While this is a first for California, on-site cannabis use and sales were allowed at the New York State Fair in 2021 after adult use legalization was enacted. However, the fair stopped permitting public consumption at last year's event, though attendees could buy cannabis products from nearly a dozen local growers at a cannabis farmers market held in conjunction with the event. So even though you couldn't legally smoke it at the fair in New York, you know that they were. In California, this year's Cannabis Awards competition is also being expanded to include product categories that other than flowers, such as pre-rolls, concentrates, and edibles. There are more than 500 entries, which is double the number compared to last year. The California State Fair took historic leadership position in 2022 with the introduction of cannabis exhibits and competition. Tom Martinez, CEO of California State Fair, said, this year, we've expanded our offerings to include on-site sales and consumption and designed an area to provide a platform to amplify California's rich agricultural bounty to facilitate storytelling for farmers from diverse backgrounds and experiences. So basically, it sounds like they got it together here. This is going to be a good thing for California and definitely good for the state fair. I don't like state fairs, but if I could buy weed and smoke it, I probably would be a little bit more happy to go to one, or at least, you know.
No, give you a reason to go as well.
Yeah, give me something to look forward to at the fair.
Yeah.
Most of the state fairs that I've been to a few. quite a few. They're just, it's like going to the same fair every year. So having something different would be nice. You know, I would like that. Very much so. So if you're in the area this year in July, go check out California
Yeah, man.
and their state fair. Go get
Yeah.
some weed and
Let us know.
enjoy
Take
it on
pictures and stuff.
site.
We want to see. We want to see.
That's it.
It's
We've
gonna be
got some
cool,
members in
man.
California. We'll see if we get some pictures. Who knows?
Yeah. Sweet.
All good.
But we
Yeah,
have
man.
one more story that we should get to then, because we're running pretty long today.
Mhm.
And this is another piece of fuckery from the UK. Jesus.
Fucker
Billy,
in the
this-
UK? No,
yeah,
mate.
fuckery. It's a great word, isn't it? Fuckery is a great word, man. I think it's one of my favourites for sure. Anyway, what are you saying, Billy? What's going on here?
Yeah, another one from Leafie.com. Like, not
And
that
somebody
we're
asked
sponsored
earlier
by
as well.
'em.
Somebody asked like Leafly. No, Leafly is a different one. This is Leafie. It's a UK news organisation. So that's leafie.co.uk if you want to check it out. So yes, what are we saying? What's going on, Billy?
Yeah, so 2 men given suspended prison sentences for swapping small amounts of prescribed cannabis.
Wow.
That's nuts.
So, yeah. So 2 men from Guernsey, which is, again, we discovered a little island near France, which is owned by the UK, but it has its own jurisdiction as such. So they make their own laws and shit, have their own judges. So 2 men from Guernsey have narrowly escaped being sent to jail after admitting to authorities that they were regularly swapped prescribed cannabis to prevent each other from running out, whilst waiting for their medication to be delivered. So both men admitted to the offence of supply medical cannabis, and both were sentenced to 1 year in prison, suspended for 2 years, as well as fines of 750 quid.
Fucking
So
hell.
so these are 2 obviously people who are using like medical cannabis. So they're disabled people who've got to pay 750 quid and obviously buy their medicine on top, that have just swapped their prescribed cannabis with each other when they run out. So if you run out, mate, here's like a couple of grams to get you through while you're waiting for it to be delivered, because companies are shit at delivering your medication. And then you return the favour when it comes. Like, oh, here's your 2 grams back, mate.
Wow.
Cheers.
What a waste
then
of the justice system. Like the
yeah,
time,
and
honestly.
on 2 actual patients. It's like, are you going to prosecute everyone for swapping all the fucking pharmaceuticals as well? Like the amount of people selling them on fucking Instagram and
Right.
Facebook and everywhere else. Like, it's like, for fuck's sake, it's like, it's cannabis. It's not like it's like something dangerous. It's 2 friends as well. So the sentence was handed down to the 2 men, despite the judge acknowledging that neither of them had made any financial gain, both had previously good characters, and the fact that the both men had made full and frank admissions and had cooperated fully with the police.
Wow.
So, yeah. It's like the judge just don't give a fuck. It's just like, now, fuck you, man.
It's like, yeah, you know, and this is the lesson there, everybody, and we say this quite often, but we still don't say it enough. The police are not your fucking friends, man. Don't try and fully cooperate with them. Do nothing. Don't do anything to help them in any fucking way. They are not your fucking friends. These guys are probably thought, oh, we're not doing anything wrong, which they're not. You know, I'm just sharing a little bit of weed here with Trevor because, you know, he's run out. Don't want to see my friend suffer. He can give it back to me. We're both legally prescribed. It's all good, right? So they've said to this police, yeah, we just sort each other out now and again, because the police like, oh, mate, want a cup of coffee? Get comfortable, mate. What happened? What's going on? Are you sharing with your friend? Are you both legal? Oh, that's all right, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, now you're fucked because you've gone and told him exactly what the fuck you were doing. He was pretending to be your friend to get the information out of you, and now we don't give a fuck. Now you have to suffer with the consequences. Don't ever think that they are your friends. Unfortunately, that is not the case. We wish it was. We wish we could rely on our fucking police officers, but it's not the case. They are not your fucking friends. Don't do any favors for them. Sorry, I won't go any more ranty than that, but it's just a fucking piss take, you know? These guys were doing nothing wrong, man. Sorry.
No rants here. Move along.
Yes, move along.
So Judge Catherine Fuchs, it's like more like fucks you in the arse, told the defendants that despite there being no guidelines governing this particular offence, she was certain that it was serious enough to cross the threshold of custody. So what the fuck?
Wow.
How
It's like-
serious? How? Like that
Yeah, it's like,
doesn't make sense.
but yeah, I'd want to go back on a track record and see how many fucking paedophiles she's give shit. Whoa.
Somebody's iPhone said something. That's
Yeah, innit?
that's
Oh,
one
I
of
think
you
it was
iPhone
creepy.
users.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
creepy
was.
iPhone losers are listening. They're listening to us. Quick,
That's right.
everyone hide, run. They've got our details. But again,
Sorry,
it's
what's
like
that? It's just they heard us talking about
crossing
the police like that. It's like, you
Yeah,
need to leave that
exactly, yeah.
call right now.
They're against the narrative. Send the stormtroopers. So the offence came to light when one defendant was arrested for separate offence of importing steroids. Oh, there you go.
All right.
Whilst the police were at the man's property, they found a container of medical cannabis that had a friend's name on it. Oh, there you go. Why don't you just take the cannabis and put it in your own container, you mug? But still,
You shouldn't have
like,
to. You know,
no, you shouldn't.
It's like
Yeah.
when
but-
you've swapped and you got it back home, you're like, oh, I better put this in the next tub.
But you
know?
should play it smart though, really. But still,
Yeah, you just you
Yeah.
have to take them
Why
precautions.
did he
anyway,
say,
don't you?
"No, my mate left it here. He's got to collect
Oh
it."
yeah.
There you go. End of story. The defendant received an additional sentence of 180 hours community service after admitting to
Fucking hell.
importing the Class C drugs for personal use. So he's been done 180 hours community service for some steroids plus the
Mhm, mhm.
750 fine and.
Because I was going to
probably
say
go
that the
a
Class
year.
C drugs, that's not the cannabis. Cannabis Class B, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
and
that's talking about the steroids
That's
there.
the steroids. Yeah. 'cause
Talk
we
about
bought
burying
them,
the lead on that
Yeah.
one.
Fucking hell.
Isn't it?
Sneaky bastards. And 100 hours community service, you know, you're going to be out there lifting heavy things. Make sure you get them steroids on you, bro. Don't put them to waste.
Yeah, but if he's like a sort of medical user, he probably needs the steroids for something like that.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean,
true,
for
very true, yeah.
strength and stuff. It's probably
Mm.
slightly medical. I wouldn't say it's
Fucking hell.
so. It's boy. Anyway,
Yeah.
in summing up, Miss Jugs fucks you in the arse told the defendants how lucky they were not to be in jail and not to make any more mistakes.
Oh
You have-
my God. What an absolute. Sorry for the language I'm about to use, everybody. I apologize. But what an absolute cunt. Fuck
Yeah, I
that.
was going to say, like,
Jesus.
the word cunt is incoming there somewhere. Like, yeah.
Fuck.
You have risked everything, she told the man charged with importing steroids, which he has a bit because they're black market steroids. Is more risk the fact that they could contain sort of anything rather than the fact he's importing
You know
drugs.
what would stop that, though? You know, if it was properly legalized and
Yeah,
regulated,
I don't
then
know,
that would stop
Mackie.
that from happening.
Oh, really?
Mm.
That never occurred to me there.
No.
Well done for pointing that fact out, sir.
Yeah, fucking, you know, I'm an economical expert, apparently, because all these fucking people who are paid to do it don't know fuck all. But
Anyway,
I'm not going to
the
go into a
second
rant
man,
again. I
yeah,
won't do
no,
it.
no ranting there. There
No,
we go.
no,
The
move
second
on,
man,
move on.
the second man, for the third time, was acknowledged as playing an insignificant role in the crime, saying it was less serious. But she told him he had made a big mistake. I'm giving the chance to stay with your families and work in the community. God, that chance.
Wow.
Wow, man. It's like I'm going to send you to prison, you dirty, degenerate, drug swapping, filthy
Stupid.
scum.
I can remember talking to some of the cannabis moms, ones with epileptic children, and them talking about them having to, you know, I'm out of medicine and I've got to get something from somebody else. Are the police going to go arrest those people too?
Mm.
Fuck.
I mean,
Depends on how much time they got.
It's stupid though that they're doing this.
Mhm.
It's
is.
absolutely. I mean, come on, it's a waste of money. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of everything.
Yeah, and like I said, like it depends how much time they got, and like you said, it's a waste of time. So if all these drug charges for cannabis,
Right.
how much time is that taken away from then actual policing? Which is why we
Mhm.
don't get no
Mhm.
actual policing in the UK because it's taken up on wank like this.
Yeah.
And Guernsey's only a small place as well. Like them, the police officers involved, all that time and energy, like. The judges are obviously backwards and needs far more education again, as normal, as they all do. Just draconian attitude towards two
It's like,
patients. Wait,
you will do
actual
this
patients.
because we said so.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
That's
There's
because
no reason.
my attitude is this. It's like that's her judgment. It's like how is that a fair and informed judgment? Bullshit. Is that fair and informed? Like that's why it's a crock of shit. Justice system. There's no.
Well, to be fair,
judges
right,
aren't informed.
You've got to try and empathise with the judge, because this lady
Nah, mate.
has grown up with the surname of Fook.
Yeah, okay, yeah. She's been told "fook you" all the
You know,
whole life.
For
right,
her
yeah.
whole life, she has been
Who
bullied.
fooks you?
You know, or maybe she got married and the guy's name was Fuchs. She took on his
Yeah.
name, and now
Yeah.
he's off cheating on her with some bird who's
Now he
20
Fuchs
years
other
younger.
people like.
So she hates him. She
He's
hates
all
the
thinking of
name.
it.
She's bitter. She's bitter. She's angry. She looks at the defendants and she sees them. She sees him in them. Sorry.
Wow.
I want to
It's
know how
getting
many
deep
cats.
fast
It's getting
here.
deep, man. It's getting deep.
Yeah.
How many cats does she own?
Exactly. Ridiculous. It's
Yeah,
just. It's
ridiculous
not just. And it's
judgment.
not. Why are the police there in the first place? To try and keep us all safe from bad shit. This is what the justice system is for. And it's like, how is this preventing anybody from any harm? And it's like the punishment is causing more detriment to their lives than the actual fucking act of committing the crime that they committed, which was sharing a little bit of cannabis between each other, both legal users. It's beyond fucked. This is. It's
No, they
Legal
say
users
the justice
can't-
system is a deception because it's no justice in it. It's just a
Mhm.
way of keeping the poor in control and under their thumb and locked
Mhm.
away if they need
Yeah.
to.
This was strictly a control thing here, and that's all it could possibly be because it serves no purpose whatsoever. Cannabis was purchased from the government legally. Both people had prescriptions. This is just a control issue.
yes.
Mhm.
They were proper
Didn't have a license
Fructober.
to swap it. Yeah, exactly.
So yes, that's all the news articles that we have for this week, everybody. I hope you enjoyed those, man. There's some triggering ones there, to say the least, but good news as well. So be careful with the rolling papers. Make sure you're using safe rolling papers now, everybody. Jesus,
Just eat
Hey.
edibles.
Yeah,
just
that's
do
good.
edibles. Yeah, yeah. But then what you eating with, because all of that's bad for you too. Everything is bad for you. Just eat plant. All right, just eat the plant.
Decarb the buds and eat the buds.
That's right. Just cut out the middleman on everything and just chew crunchy buds.
Change your rabbit.
You know what I mean? Damn. Right, so a bit of the forum news here. We have the Barney's Farm giveaway that is still going on over at Percys, and there's 15 prizes to give away. Like, there's 15 people going to win shit over there at Percys from the heads and tails competition. So make sure you get over there and enter. You need 25 posts to enter. Still plenty of time. It doesn't end until the 10th of July, so still plenty of time to get over there, get signed up, and get involved if you haven't done that already. It's going to be a good comp, so don't miss out. There's like 4 packs of seeds with a t-shirt, a grinder, lighter, a tricroscope, some papers. I'm going to do tests on them papers, Yeah, so loads of stuff to be given away. Get over
Trying
there.
to kill somebody with them papers, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freeze! Freeze!
Paper.
Yes, and the Mackie monthly giveaway is still going on as well. You still got time to enter that. There's like a week left where you can win a book, which is Welcome to Psilocybin from Seth Warner. You can win that, learn about some mushrooms and stuff if you wanted to. And there's some Mephisto beans in there as well. Yeah, and stickers and stuff. So that's another giveaway that you can enter over at PercysGrowRoom.com. Make sure you sign up if you're not a member already. And it's free, of course. Right, we're off next week. We're not going to have a show on Sunday, and I don't know what episodes will be released next week. We'll see what happens next week. But we'll be back on Sunday with a shorter version of the news, because we've been doing the news for like 2 hours, well, at least an hour and a half every week for a while now, with lots of stories, because we haven't been doing the grow guides. But it's time to reintroduce the grow guides again. So we're gonna take the week off next week, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna cover just one news story each, 5 news stories, maybe 6, and then we'll do the grow guides again from the beginning. We're going to run through from the start on how to, should you grow in the first place? It'll be something like that, how to set up a grow, what you need to grow, that kind of shit. It's going to be fun, man. It's good to bring the grow guides back. Yay! Yeah, and don't forget, with the grow guides episodes as well, we're also going to have the listener mail coming back. So we need your questions as well. We like to cover 3 or 4 questions at the end of the grow guides. So if you guys have questions about anything to do with growing cannabis or philosophical stuff, sometimes we like to go on the tangents, then we'll be able to do that again as well. There'll be a new listener mail thread, I think, because we do have one, but it's fucking huge, so we could do with a fresh one. So we'll get on that. Yeah, so in 2 weeks, smoke everybody, we will have the return of the grow guide. It's gonna be fun. Looking forward to getting that shit on. Nice. And on Thursday this week, what is that? What date is that? But is that 27th? Is it? It is 27th.
Yeah, 27th. Yeah.
For those in the UK, we have an election coming up on the 4th of July, and we want to make sure that everybody in the UK is as informed as possible on what different political parties are offering and different ways you can vote if cannabis is a big deal for you. You know, just balancing out on what from different parties is being offered, so everybody can make an informed decision of who they're going to vote for this time round. You know, it's going to be an interesting stream. I think it's going to be more like actual news rather than, you know, the cannabis news that we do. So it's going to be interesting. Billy's going to be mostly in charge of it, because then if anything goes wrong, he can take the fucking blame. You know, I was just on the panel this time around. It's fucking Billy. He's out of control.
Yeah,
you know?
there you go. It's my
There you
fault.
go.
All the
There you go.
politics ran in.
Sorted. You know what I'm
Bastards.
saying? You know, if the wrong party wins and they come for us, you know, it was all Billy.
Yeah, there you go. It's my fault.
Yeah, but it's going to be an interesting stream. Looking forward to it. And on that same day as well, and it's fucking the presidential debate in the USA is on. But that starts at like that's like 9 p.m. Is it maybe 8 p.m. Pacific time? It's
What's
gonna be
that,
like
UK
3
time?
o'clock in the morning for us. But
Well, maybe
still,
we do up a really super long stream and watch the presidential one as well, man.
I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning. I won't be able to say much
No.
because everybody in the house is asleep. But I don't know. I might stay up and watch that. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Will
man.
be interesting anyway.
Yeah. That's
And then
my
the week
Super
after,
Bowl,
we're
you
doing
know?
an election stream still, are we?
And that's it. Yeah, a week after that, then we're gonna do an election stream to see who wins the election as we go through for the UK. Yeah, it's gonna be cool, interesting. A little bit different from the normal streaming. So don't forget, everybody, a week off from you know, you get the news. There won't be news on Monday. There might be some interviews. It depends. You see what we've got in the back catalogue that needs to be edited and sent out. I think we do have some things that need to be sent out, so I can get those out while we're having some time off. Yeah, that's it. Anything to add here? Has anybody got any news to add? Monkey, you got something?
No, nothing really going forward. So I'm good.
Sweet. Billy, anything to add?
No, man. No, nothing.
Marge?
Just the usual, you know, putting out weekly episodes for fun and delicious things to make infused.
Yes. And congrats again on the 5 years.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
Thank
cool,
you.
Marge. Very cool. Well done. It's we make podcasts too. I didn't know if you're aware of that. But, you know, we make podcasts as well. And we know how much of a struggle it is. And, you know, to
Yeah.
drag through for 5 years, it's impressive. Yeah, well
It
done. man.
is.
Congratulations.
Well
Have you
done.
made a big edible in the shape of the number 5?
No, I just baked a giant cake.
But did it have
so-
weed in it?
Yeah, of course.
That's all right then. We'll
Yeah.
let you off.
Yeah.
Right then, let's go to the outro. Oh, I have to professionally fade music. Hold on. Professionals.
I still can't hear it.
There we go. There we go. It's gone. No, it's fade. No, you can't hear it on that side. Otherwise, it echoes a shitload. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so there we go, everybody. That was the cannabis news this week. Yeah, we just did the forum news there, Budsy. We just spoke about stuff, forum stuff, the giveaways and all of that. We did it. It was there. Anyway, shout out to Chad. Chad is in the chat. I've seen him there lurking. What's up, bro? I hope you're doing well. Chad is doing very well. Everybody make sure you go and follow Chad's channel. If you're not already, just search for Chad Westport. You'll find him. Check out his stuff. Always producing great content. Lots of cool videos this week as well. I think, well, over the last couple of weeks, I think see some good videos coming out from Chad there. He's been busy.
squatting some new beans out as well, isn't he?
Mm-mm. Yes, very.
As
And
he
I
does.
think he's coming to join us on an interview. I think July 11th. I think he's coming to join
Oh,
us.
sweet.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
got to
right.
Oh,
get
cool.
to catch up, find out what he's been up to, which is a lot. Busy guy. Yeah,
And
but what
find
else
out
do we
about
add?
Chad Westport growing some weed.
Savan said as soon as Biden messes up, they're going to shut down the stream or something. But for the debate, it's going to be a fun debate. I'd love to do a watch party, man. You know, you got to watch. This
Yeah,
thing.
we should do a watch party, man.
But it's going to be like 3 o'clock in the morning. But damn.
Yeah, well, just get up early, set your alarm.
No, that's staying up. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's never changing. That's never changed. That's the way it's been for 30 years. God damn. Fucking 3 o'clock in the morning. Is that even a time that people get up at? That's not, no.
Yes, actually it is. Yeah.
Yeah, some people do, man, and I salute those folk. You know, sometimes before I go to sleep, I'll lay there and I'll salute like that. And I'll be like, I salute those who are just getting up. you know, because that shit went down. Fuck. I've had to do it a couple of times, and it just don't work for me. I have to make sure that I'll go to bed late. Anyway,
Not my
random
favorite
tangent.
thing either. So yeah.
Random tangent. Yeah, so it's been a good show, everybody. Lots of good news covered there. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that yet. And yeah, thanks as always for being here, and thanks for downloading to those guys who are listening to the show after it's gone out on Monday. And yeah, that's it, right? That's just about everything. We're just gonna wave and go. Everybody can find us on PercysGrowRoom.com, highandhomegrown.com. Marge, we got the Bite Me, the show about edibles. That's just bitemepodcast.com, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Sweet. There it is.
Instead of
everybody.
waving, you should just hock-to your microphone.
Oh yes. No, it suddenly sounded a bit German, and now I think that needs to be edited out.
yeah. Yeah, it's got a bit soft now, monkey. Yeah.
But yes, good show, everybody. Stay high, stay safe. I'm not sure if we've got interviews this week. I'll have to check the calendar, but I'll let you know over on the forum and over at the just on the Discord and everywhere else. I don't know. Okay, I'm a little high. Shit, I'll put the music on too loud. Look, there it is. See, yeah, the whiskey's getting to me. It's time to go. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Stay high.
Bye.
Stay safe, baby.
Goodbye.
See you later. Bye, everybody.